One of the things I've realized as I've pursued a lot of dreams and goals is that sometimes discipline can be the wrong thing to have in certain moments. Sometimes discipline can serve you in a negative. Let me explain, and I apologize. I'm on the little electronic bicycle, and it came to my mind. I wanted to get this off. I also apologize for the TV in the background, but let's get it. But as I've done certain things, and for example, right now, the one thing that made me realize this is as I'm writing my book right now, my memoir, I've kind of told myself I'm writing every single day, twice a day, because I'm trying to finish a certain amount or kind of be done with the first draft before I go on vacation with my friends. That's just my thing. And I've kind of had this perspective of what I've realized is there's certain days where honestly my creativity isn't at its peak. Sometimes my mental isn't at the best. And when I look at something like my book as just not as a task to complete, but as a work of art, as something that's going to be impacting people for the rest of my life, I have to realize that the art is more beautiful and more important than just a checkbox on my to-do list. And a lot of times we're being disciplined and we're staying disciplined just so we can say we stay consistent. But remember why you became disciplined in the first place. You became disciplined because you wanted a certain result. And sometimes we forget the real reason why we're being disciplined. Now, I'm not saying not to be disciplined and not that it doesn't matter, but I believe sometimes we abuse the thought of discipline because it's been trained and ingrained in our mind to always be disciplined because that's what gives the results. But sometimes it's just not the time. And for me right now, it's just not today for some reason. I think I'm out in Washington and they had me eat this like bison meatloaf and I'm just not feeling the best. And I'm like, you know what? I'm more in a vibe for like making YouTube videos and getting on the little bike and I'm doing 4 miles right now. It's just more my vibe is where my creativity is. But where I'm talking about, what I'm talking about in the book, just isn't it right now. And so I think it's super important to be disciplined, but don't be so disciplined that it causes you to miss out on the real reason why you're disciplined in the first place. And that's to make the beautiful art that you make. Now there's certain activities and certain things that you do that discipline is perfect for because it's not very much of a creative act. But in our creative acts, it's super important to put discipline to the side sometimes because this is art, not freaking, like, you know what I'm trying to say? You know what that is for you. Just make that know in your head not to let discipline override what's actually meant to be happening right now. And in different parts of your life, decipher where discipline is needed more and where discipline isn't needed as much. But that doesn't mean not to like do it when you don't feel like it. Still do that sometimes. You just have to be more aware. Don't let social media hustle culture get you away from the purity of whatever you do and whatever art you create. Okay, I had another thing I wanted to add to this video before I end it. But sometimes we can look at discipline in a different way. Sometimes not working on it is still discipline because it's still you being dedicated to what you're doing. For example, for me, taking a break for writing my book when I don't feel like I'm at my best, it's me still being disciplined and dedicated to my goal. Okay, that's still me being dedicated to making the best book possible, and I'm not working on it when I don't feel like I'm at my best to be working on this, when I could be ruining the experience for this chapter being as best as it could be. So sometimes it's not that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it isn't that we shouldn't be disciplined. We just have to change the way we look at discipline because at different points of our life, discipline looks different. It doesn't look like the thing that's constantly working hard, lifting weights, doing it every day. Sometimes discipline is taking a break. Sometimes discipline is just committing to what you said you're going to do, and sometimes it looks differently. Don't worry about looking disciplined. Just be disciplined. Maybe that's the message. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't know where I put this in the video. Peace.